Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here, and we're back with our weekly recap of all things Injustice. It's the week of July the 4th, 2024. Happy July 4th to all our American friends. So, the current challenge is Arkham Knight Backroll. It's 1 week repeat. Required characters are Nightwing, Green Lantern, and Black Adam, who are available as cheaply as bronze, and silver, respectively. Her passive is Got Your Back. Batgirl has a chance for her Special 1 or Special 2 to be unblockable. Arkham characters can be rescued from one knockout blow by swapping in for them and using a smoke bomb with a chance to stun. She's got 1375 attack and 1325 health. Alright. Last available, 10th of August 2023. So she's got pretty high stats. She is a great Arkham card. In fact, I would say that she is the best Arkham card because she should be on every Arkham team. The unblockable chance for specials is very cool because she has multi-hit specials, meaning that something is pretty much guaranteed to hit. It's just a matter of how many are blocked before the block break. But the beauty is the second ability, saving her teammates. And technically, it's a second and third ability because it isn't just saving her teammates, which would be good enough. It's a chance to stun when she comes in. And back in the day, we used to think that the most effective and dangerous use of Arkham Knight Backroll was to give her a loadout that would guarantee power when she tags in, for number 1. Number 2, with Cloak of Destiny or Necron Scythe to boost stun damage. And 3, League of Assassin's Knives to give splash damage on Special 1 and also boost Special 1 damage. So if she tags in to save her teammate, she can do the usual Batgirl thing and do a Special 1 that stuns on the first part if they're not stunned already. And it's back end loaded to do a huge amount of damage that gets shared with the opponents. However, we played a lot of Arkham teams, and we've made some adjustments. So League of Assassin's Knives does a lot of splash damage, true, but using Arkham Knight Backroll as a rescuer means the splash damage doesn't matter as much. Most of the time when she tags in, there isn't as much splash damage to give. I mean, we're often looking at the opponent's last man standing. And even if there is more than one opponent, the cost to your loadout to guarantee a bar of power and do splash damage with 2 gear slots, it's just a little bit too much. So then we started using overpowered super. I mean, really any basic damage boost, increase basic crit chance gear like Blade of the War God, Promethean Longsword, any of those. Any of those will work. So that one basic swipe combo against a stunned opponent is going to take away all or almost all of their health when you've got boosted stun damage. On defense, it isn't as easy to control what Arkham Knight Backroll does when she tags in, but if you're unlucky enough to be facing her, there's always a chance that on this loadout, you'll be vulnerable to having your team completely wiped out. So, speaking from the other side then, our main strategy for dealing with this loadout is to go after her Arkham teammate before she gets a bar of power and hope that the boosted damage is survivable. Or, if she is likely to have power when she tags in, for example, Tantu Totem, then it's making sure that our Astro Harness person on our team is triggering the tag in, is basically doing the last bit of damage to knock out her teammate. Because our Astro Harness character will hopefully trigger in the middle of her special and keep us from getting knocked out. And so that's what we did for a while. So after all that talk, why are you watching a team that doesn't have any Arkham Knight teammates or any Arkham teammates for her? So as part of our series of weekly recaps using the current challenge character, we use Arkham Knight Backroll as the star of the team. And if you use her as the rescuer of her Arkham teammates, she's sitting on the sidelines for quite a bit, and she's not really the star of the team. And if anything, the fights can be a little bit slower. So even though that is the most effective team overall, we are showing her in a team where she's still super effective. And what you're really seeing is the strength of the first part of her passive. So as the star of the team, her Special 1 is more important than her Special 2. Stun boosted damage against an opponent with Special 1 is more than what you can get with her Special 2, and it only takes 1 bar of power. Because Special 1 has a stun built in. And it changes, obviously, if the opponent's already stunned in front of her. But the problem with Special 2 is that it's actually reduced damage for the stun on the last hit. So for a lot of reasons, her Special 1 is better. I mean, besides the fact she only needs 1 bar of power when tagging in, Tantu Totem is all that's necessary. And instead of any splash damage, we're stacking Cloak of Destiny and Necron Scythe, so she has the best chance of knocking out her opponent, so that even one hit after the stun can do more than 100,000 health damage. And you can really see the effectiveness of the strategy. Those fights where she's knocking out potentially new 52 Shazam without triggering his passive because she's just jumping right past the level of health that will trigger it. Hawkgirl Prime is her teammate. She's great on any team that relies on Tantu Totem because everyone can tag in and out more quickly. If there were an Arkham teammate that could enhance Backroll this way, that's the person we would use, but you can't really replace that ability. Static is the third character. He's there for Shattering Gears. He's got Master's Death card so that he can stun the opponent on tagging with a quick special 1. Means that we don't need to time Backroll special 1 all the time. And, yeah, I mean, like I said, full Arkham teams with Backroll, much better. But this is a way to really emphasize her strengths and show actually that she can be the main character even without getting the benefit of supporting a couple of Arkham teammates. So yeah, you really get a sense of how powerful she is. So it's week 10 since the end of the 4-year repeating challenge cycle. We are in completely uncharted territory. There are still 18 more missing challenge characters that may potentially be put into the schedule. And based on what's happening since Gaslight Batman came back after an absence of years, we've had a new schedule that has alternated between the old 4-year cycle and the returning Lost Challenge characters. So next week should be one of the Lost Challenge characters. And the best clue to that will probably be coming from the challenge, or not the challenge, the store-bought packs, which has been working for us for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Lost Challenge characters. This week's multiplayer reward is Totem, which becomes Tantu Totem. Its effects when maxed out are 30% crit chance on specials. You get 35% of maximum power on tagging, which amounts to 1 bar of power when it's maxed out. Restore 100% power for specials if enemy was KO'd with it. And when evolved, you get 100% power back for special if enemy takes no damage. It was last available November 30th, 2023. That is 184 weeks in a row of consistent pattern. And 29 weeks in the latest 5th cycle, which is almost finishing. Unlike the challenge cycle, nothing has been missing from multiplayer rewards for a few years now. If the pattern holds, next week should be Scarecrow's ventilator mask. I mean, what do you say about Tantu Totem? It is inarguably the single most important piece of gear. I mean, sometimes you have to waffle a bit and say, well, it's hard to say which gear is the most important because it depends on what you want to do with them. But no. In the current meta, there is nothing more important than Tantu Totem. If you don't have it, you must rank this week to get the benefit of it. Otherwise, you'll be waiting a long time, more than half a year, to have a chance at it again. Not only did Tantu Totem shift the game from basic damage to specials, it changed how specials and power were managed, so it really changes the whole complexion of the fight. I mean, the crit chance boost on both Special 1 and Special 2, it's pretty good. All right, it's great. But it's, I mean, most other gears only give you crit chance on Special 1 or Special 2, not both of them. But the next 3 abilities are what makes it so important. So when it's maxed out, you get 1 full bar of power and tag in, which is good. Anytime you get fast power generation, that's good. Getting full power back if you knock out the opponent, also really good. And getting full power back if the enemy takes no damage makes it possible to handle Astro Harness easily, all the invulnerabilities. So before Tantu Totem existed, the focus of specials was getting the most amount of splash damage, which was the best way to leverage the power you had to convert it into the greatest damage output. So if you're doing special 2s, because it took a while to get 2 bars of power, even if, previously there were strategies to quickly get there, right? You could have, say, Backroll as a teammate and Rezagul Scimitar. Even despite that, it made a lot of sense to give up a bit of damage to the opponent in front of you in order to do more splash damage. Because with 15% splash damage from from Special 2 with the 4th World Godly Mace, that's as good as a 30% damage boost spread onto opponents. Great for somebody who does a huge amount of damage like Ares. 50% splash damage from Special 1 with League of Assassins Knives. that's as good as a 100% damage boost, right? 50% on each of the other opponents when there's still 3 of them left. So Tantu Totem changed that thinking by making it a priority to do more damage to the opponent facing you if you can guarantee you knock them out, because you're going to get all your power back. It has also completely changed the game for all the characters who have a passive triggered by specials. Bounty Hunter Lobo, great example. His passive used to have almost no impact on the fight, but using him with Tantu Totem, doing more damage with each special 2, getting longer lasting damage over time with each special 2, locking each opponent longer when you do more special 2s, makes a difference because you're doing more special 2s. Before, you spend a bunch of the game trying to build up and then you're done, and really just like once or twice, not a lot. Another one is a new 52 Wonder Woman, who is now S tier, as we talked about recently in our Q&A videos. Her passive lets the power of Tantu Totem be magnified on a Justice League team, where you can have both your teammates tag in with 3 bars of power because you've just been abusing the opponents with new 52 Wonder Woman. And I think it hasn't just changed the strategy for fights in general, but the example being New 52 Wonder Woman, it has improved the status of certain characters by really unlocking their passives. So in the store, new packs, there's the character bundle Women of Power for $24.99 Canadian, because that's the only currency that matters. You get New 52 Wonder Woman and Arkham Knight Harley Quinn. The main thing to point out is that the gears that you get Wonder Woman's Lariat is actually the Dawn of Justice Wonder Woman gear and not the regular Wonder Woman gear that you can get in the regular gear locker. So that's a little bit interesting, still a bit expensive. There is the Killer Frost Challenge Pack for 200,000 power credits. That's a 6.16% chance instead of the 2.86% chance of getting her in the regular challenge pack. And it is not worth getting the challenge pack unless your intention is to sell back every other character except for Killer Frost. Because even if you're going to keep a couple other ones, then you're better off buying the regular challenge pack. It's just better value, saving that 50,000 power credits each pack. And that's probably the clue. I mean, Killer Frost herself is not one of the missing challenge characters, but Killer Frost Regime is, and oftentimes when there's a challenge character that doesn't have their own pack, a similar skin, the same character in a different skin in the pack is often going to be the clue. The same way, I think, who is it? It is John Stewart Green Lantern has been coming up as the challenge pack the week before Red Sun Green Lantern. Anyways, all right, so let's hope, because that'll mean that we're still being consistent with the pattern of bringing back one of the lost challenge characters every other week. Icebreaker pack, second week. I guess you could pretend that was another clue. We talked about that last week because this is its second week. And then we've got a bunch of other packs that have been around for much, much longer. Most of them for a couple of years, so that's not necessary to go into detail with that. Okay. So Phantom Zone is back for 2 weeks. Fight 62 is still broken. It is double XP weekend, probably for the 4th of July celebration. I mean, secondly, not the weekend yet, but it's already started and it's Thursday. So a lot of the double XP weekends are events for American, maybe North American players. So anyways, did I already say? Happy 4th of July. So last weekend's breakthrough for golds was, as expected, the Joker, Nightwing, and Darkseid. This coming weekend is probably Zod, Aquaman, and Shazam. Link in the description to a thread in the Injustice Mobile subreddit from Devlin16 that goes over the complete breakthrough cycle. So, as far as the current glitches go, we go into more detail every time something significant changes, which did not happen this week. But even if nothing changes, we still do a more detailed review once a month, the first week of every month. And ta-da, today is the first week of July. Now, if you don't have the patience to sit through all this, you can also see a video tutorial for every working glitch in our playlist, Current Working Glitches, linked in the description of this video. The main thing worth mentioning every week is that the challenge reset glitch has been confirmed to be working on this week's Arkham Knight Backroll challenge. But where we start with usually is talking about glitches that are not working because either they've used to work and people are looking for it, or it's just really obvious that they want something. So that isn't there. There is no working glitch for credits. We talked about this in more detail in previous seasons. Season 6, episode 9 of our Q&A, which used to be called our P and Q and C and A and T. Worth repeating to the larger audience here, some people have been successfully exploiting a glitch that requires 2 devices being logged simultaneously into one account. Not worth doing. Too much of a danger of messing up your account. The glitch for getting repeated past multiplayer season rewards is not working. The glitch for early multiplayer season rewards also not working, although some people are getting trapped when they trigger it inadvertently, not in a way they can manipulate, but in a way that screws it up so they don't get the rewards at the end of the season when they've ranked where they want to. There's no glitch to get through Phantom Zone quickly, although we have a bunch of videos for speed runs through Phantom Zone. The glitch that used to let you get the free energy without watching the video, also not working. And that's something separate from the time shifting for free energy, which is. So that's our segue into the working glitches. The glitch to let you play Phantom Zone repeatedly is still working. As we mentioned in the glitch video, its greatest value may be in avoiding the 50 nth metal that it costs for the 2 replays that you normally get, since it takes a lot of time to play it through completely 3 times on the elite level. The challenge reset method, like I mentioned, that requires Google Play Cloud Save is working, confirmed on the current Arkham Knight Backroll challenge. Oh, I should mention too, we are all Android. So when we talk about glitches, these apply specifically to Android. Even though the game may look very similar on iOS, the glitches don't work the same way. What about it? Remember, the challenge reset and the Phantom Zone progress reset, they are both basically the same glitch. So keep that in mind, that when you reset one, you're resetting both. And so if you have any Phantom Zone Crystal progress, which tends to be slower than the challenge, make sure that if you reset the challenge that you don't have any progress on the Phantom Zone that you're not willing to lose, because you're going to lose it. We've got a comment cut and pasted from a viewer, Time Kakde, that talks a little bit about which files you could move around so that instead of just deleting files and having to re-download more than a gig's worth of data, you can just shift a few files around and still achieve the same effect as deleting the files. Breakthrough glitch to let you play repeatedly, still working. Airplane mode / refund glitch is still working, good for both packs with random drops and last laugh tickets. It does not work for us in the Phantom Zone. People have been telling us it does for them. We have not been able to get work, even though it does look like it's working. It doesn't actually change what we end up getting. And that seems to make, that's not surprising. It seems to make sense because getting your Phantom Zone reward requires an online connection. We strongly recommend against doing a variation of this glitch where you switch between accounts instead of clearing app data. When you switch between accounts like that, there is too big a risk of account bleeding so that details of one account get overwritten on the details of another account partially. And if there's a conflict, that can really screw up your account if those are 2 different things. Time shifting still works for in Android for unlimited survivor play and energy recharges. Again, reminder, return your countdown clock back to normal before you finish. If you don't, it's probably the number 1 reason for people not having the Phantom Zone, the challenge, whatever kind of event, from showing up properly at the right time in your account. And in between not working and working glitches, there's the promotion glitch where you can promote characters that are still locked. Still hasn't the right conditions since update 2.14, so it's still not testable and still not usable, but it hasn't failed us yet. And we are pedants, if nothing else, and we will not be removing it from the glitch list until it's actually failed us once when the conditions were there. But based on how they've kept the conditions from being present for years now, chances are you're never going to get a chance to use it again. And that's it for this week. This is where we like to give a big thank you to our patrons on Patreon. That's Michael Devries, Irvin Ruiz, Hoshi127, Nora Klimek, and Paolo-Cesar-Pablo-Juan, who are supporting us on the credited level, and 5x5, who's supporting us on the gratitude level. And a big thank you to you all for watching. We'll see you next time. Komoda.